Welcome into Mindful Mondays with your boy Cook. Appreciate y'all coming in. Come on in, welcome in. About to get started. You see the topic at the bottom. Appreciate you all coming in. Welcome to Mindful Mondays with your boy Cook. Appreciate you all. Appreciate you guys. Everything. Checking me out every week, every Monday. This is how we gonna do it today. The topic is at the bottom. The 3 C's in life. Choice, chance, change, and I added one, commitment. You know, this is what we're gonna talk about tonight. First of all, I want to welcome everybody in today for Mindful Mondays with your boy Cook. Appreciate y'all guys coming out. Appreciate you checking me out today. First, I want to start with some information. So, I'm doing this every Monday. Every Monday is going to be a Mindful Monday on different topics. I'll have guest speakers come in. I'm actually about to be on the second season of some friends of mine's podcast coming up soon, talking about mental health and things of that nature, and for men and young men. On March 2nd of 2024, I'll be speaking at Empowering Me, over in College Park at the hotel over there. Haven't got any more information on it yet, but it will be coming in soon. So definitely stay tuned. Check that out. I'll post it on my page. Keep you guys aware. If you know anybody that's a single mom with a son, please get them to that event, because we're going to go in. We're going to talk. We're going to go in. We're going to support. We're going to help our young men and men out. We're going to help the women out as well, the moms out, so they can understand what's going on. So let's get into it. Let's talk about it. The 3 C's in life: choice, chance, change. And I added one, and it was commitment. Throughout life, we have choices to make. We all made choices growing up. Even if it was good or bad, we still made choices. We had a chance to overcome them choices we made, as well as we continue to grow. Change is always important. A lot of people don't like change, and I see that amongst our youth working in the school system. They don't like change. They don't like new people. They don't like new things. So we have to get into the mindset with our young men and men that we got to start bringing them up in a way they can understand changes. And then we got to start committing to our things. We got to commit to these 3 C's. We got to commit to what we're trying to do, what we're trying to stay positive about, where we're going and where we're growing to. So first, let's start out with choice. Choice, we got to start focusing on the choices we made throughout life. We made some tough choices growing up. We didn't get to pick and choose our family. We didn't get to pick and choose certain situations. But at the same time, we had choices we made that didn't set us right. Or some choices people made that did make them go right. Some of us had to take different walks of life. We all didn't stay on that straight and narrow path. But at the same time, we still had that choice of doing something bigger than what we were supposed to do. So we had to get back into the mindset when it comes to our youth. We see what's going on out here. We see the killing that's going on. We see the violence that's taking place within our communities. So we have to start getting into our young men and men about the choices they're making that is going to put them in the right position going into their future, their lives. We got to understand this is the future of America right now. This is what we're dealing with right now. The choices we're making and the choices our youth is making is not helping right now. So we have to dig deep into our children's mental health. We got to make sure their mental health is correct. They understand what's going on, how things going to play out, how things can go when you're raising, when you're growing up. At the same time, we also, me having a son and my daughter, the choices I make is going to affect them. So I got to make sure I'm making the right choices that's going to benefit them in the long run as well. Because if I don't make the right choices, guess what? That's going to hurt them. It's going to hurt my wife. It's going to hurt everything. So we gotta get back into that. And then the next one, the next C is chance. It's the opportunity to create and maintain, a space for our young men and men. We got to start building safe spaces for our young men. We got to start building spaces where they're able to open up. I started Mindful Men to give young men and men a chance to open up and express how they feel. Because in today's society, the way we was brought up not to cry, not to express our feelings, not to show how we feel, because that's how we was raised as men. When we was boys, we was raised from boys to men, which pushed us into that mindset of this is what we're not supposed to do. This had to stop though, because we see what's going on in the streets. Because our youth, they using drugs, they selling drugs, they shooting up the block, they trying to take over a neighborhood that they don't own. So when we create that safe space for them, that safe space is going to help them be able to open up and be able to say, okay, this is where I went wrong at. This is the choice I made. Let's go back to the choice. This is the choice I made. So now let's open up and create that safe space. So now we have the safe space. Me as a school counselor, I create safe space for my students to come into my office. So when they come in my office, I'm able to speak with them on their level because I created a safe space for them. So that safe space is they opening up now. This goes for everybody, as a parent, as a grandparent, as whatever you are, aunt, an uncle, whatever. We have to create that safe space. We got to start creating safe spaces for our youth. As men, we got to have a safe space as well, because some men cannot go home and have a safe space if they got so much trauma in their house. But when you don't have trauma at home, see, your home is your home. A house is just a house. See, your home is where you're able to relax and clear your mind and unwind. So that comes into play. So when I come home, I'm able to unwind. I play with the kids. My wife, she talks to me. We communicate. So we open up about certain things. So that's the chance. We got to create that safe space. So it's all about safe space right now. And then the change. So change is big. This is probably one of the biggest ones out of all the 3 C's, is because when we set in environments where change is a bit much, a lot of people don't like change. And it's okay that you don't like change, but at the same time, how much is it benefiting you when you don't change? Because if you haven't changed from the time you turn from 15 to 25, that's a problem. So now we got another whole nother issue. Just go back to creating that safe space. Because if we created a safe space for them at 15, so by the time they turn 25, that safe space is good. So now they open to change. When you leave elementary to go to middle school, it's change. When you go from middle school to high school, it's change. When you go from high school to college or military or trade school, whatever, or in the workforce, it's still change. So it's always some type of change that's going to affect you in the long run. But you got to make sure it's a positive change. So your change got to be positive. So it can't be just, oh, I'm just changing just to change. So we got to start getting back into that safe space again, where the change is going to be able to push and motivate our youth. So we can't go out here, like I said before, we can't go out here and hit the block and talk to the youngins and be like, hey, we got to change your mindset, when we don't have a safe place for them to change their mindset. So when we create the safe space for them, now we can talk to them and be like, hey, this is change. Let's change this. Let's sit down and talk. So now they got a safe space to talk and open up a little more. So now in the back of their mind, they thinking like, okay, now they created a safe space for us. Now we brought these men around. these men is going to push them and motivate them to do more. Because at the end of the day, if you can stand in the corner, you can move this, you can move that, do this, do that, blase, you can open legitimate business. That's called change. So now you're changing from illegal to legal. Just like Jay-Z said in one of his songs. Him and his boy went from corner boys to corner officers. So that's change. That's a growth. That's called change. See, that change is going to push them and motivate them to continue to do more in life. Because if we're not changing the narrative of what's going on in our society, we're losing. We're going to continue to lose. We're going to lose. We're not getting to the point where our kids understand what's going on out here. They're not voting. People are not voting no more because they feel as though, well, my vote don't count. Yes, your vote do count. That's change. So if you're trying to change what's going on, if we're trying to change what's going on in the city, if we're trying to change what's going on in our home, if we're trying to change what's going on in the backyard, it starts with us. Men, come on, wake up. It starts with us. We got to start reaching back to our young men and our youth. Like, I got a son. If he got a best friend, boom, and his dad not around, I got to take that on. That's my responsibility too. We got to start changing our children's mindsets. Because if we don't change their mindset, it's going to lead into bigger problems. It's going to lead into huge problems. Because an undisciplined boy becomes an undisciplined man. That's a problem. That's a huge problem. You can't tell me any young man that was undisciplined became disciplined when he got older. Nah. Undisciplined as a child, he's going to grow up to be undisciplined as a man, and it's going to lead to two things. So we got to start accepting change. We got to get back to our youth. We got to start accepting change. We got to start motivating our youth to change. The last one is commit. So when we go through these 3 C's, choice, chance, and change, we have to commit to these things. We have to start committing. The process of being consistent in what your goals are. So if our goal is to create a safe space for men and young men, we got to commit to this. So now we got to start committing to these things, these 3 C's. Because if we don't commit to these 3 C's, we just wasted time. Once again, it goes back to the change when we go to the block and we talking to them, we creating a safe space. But if we don't have a safe space for them, we're not committing to the 3 C's. We haven't committed to them. Once again, it goes back to choice, chance, and change. It's a commitment. So we got to commit to these 3 C's in order to get our youth in the right direction. Because if we don't get them in the right direction, if we don't commit to them like we should, we lost the battle. We lost them mentally. We already losing them as we go along because their mental health is on another level. They mentally not stable. They don't understand what's really going on out here in this world. They don't get the crimes they make as a young man can affect them in the long run. So that's the choice they making, but they don't understand the chances they are receiving behind it. Them chances behind it is hurting them. So we have to commit to things that's going to push our young men and men to the next level. Fellas, like I said, I created this for men and young men to step up, for men to step up with me, but I'm creating a safe space for our men to be able to open up more too. So we got to be able to balance the two. So if as a man, if you can't have a safe space within yourself, if you're not mentally stable within yourself, it's going to be hard for you to reach back to that young man or a younger man to help them move forward in life or bring them off the corner. It's going to be hard because you're not mentally stable. You're not mentally able to do that type of work. So we got to start waking up, fellas. We got to wake up. We got to do our part too. I'm not putting this all on you guys. I'm putting it on me too. It's time for us to step up and put this on our shoulders and let's go back. Let's get our youth. Let's change the game. Yes, we might not save them all, but one saving one can contribute. Two saving two, three saving three, four saving four. We just created a ripple effect that's going to benefit them in the long run. See, that's the choice and the chance and the change they making. So now we just did all three of them C's by networking, by opening up, by creating a safe space for our young men. So this is what we got to continue to do. This is how we're going to continue to grow as men and young men. This is the only way we can grow our youth to being the men that we need them to be in today's society. Right now, we're losing a battle. We're losing right now. We see the crimes that's taking place. We see what's going on out here. We hear the gunshots. We see the news. So what are we going to do to step up and start making these three C's work for our youth? But first, we gotta redo the three C's for ourselves first. So the three C's gotta hit us first before we can take it to them. We can't take it to the youth when we ain't did it to ourselves. That's when last time I talked about the wake up, stay woke movement. We gotta wake up and stay woke because there's a movement going on within our youth. So we got to start stepping up. And you must make the choice to take the chance if you want anything in life to change. And you must commit to them three C's in life. Like I just said, we got to start committing to these things. If we don't commit to these three C's, we're not going to able to help our youth out. I'm not going to be able to help my fellow men out that want to help the other young men out. So me as a man, I got to step up as well. So I'm calling myself to action that I'm stepping up. This is what I'm doing. We got to start getting back into our communities. We got to start talking to our young men. If we got to go in front of the schools on the first day of school to welcome our youth in, let's do that. Let's congratulate them with open arms that they even coming to school. That's a step. That's a choice they just made to come to school. Now we got to get them to the chance part where they can understand you coming to school every day. You're doing your schoolwork every day. You have a chance to do something bigger than what the next person didn't do. Now they got to accept the role of change. So the change is going to come in is that, well, I'm not outside all times of the night because I got homework to do. I got studying to do. I got football practice. I got basketball practice. I have these things that's going on. So I can't be sitting outside all times of the night shooting a breeze with my boys. I can't be outside all times of the night just smoking. I have to start doing something bigger than what it was. I have to start doing bigger and better things. So that goes back to the three C's again, the choice, chance, and change. See, that change is going to help them continue to grow. Because when they're changing, guess what? One of their friends might see them changing and they might step in and be like, oh, I need to change with them. So let me go back. Let me do the three C's as well. So I reposted the three C's because I had to run that back on my story, and I run it back on my page. Because them three C's mean so much to me. They mean so much to life, period. So we have to start committing to the game of the three C's. It's like chess and checkers. We playing chess and checkers right now. But at the same time, we got to start multiplying on these three C's. These three C's is going to push our youth to the next level, beyond that, and beyond further. Because if we don't change the game is going to change us. We see what's going on in the government. We see what's going on out here in the world. We getting called to action. We got to start stepping to the plate and doing our part. Yes, we need more men in the school systems. We need more men out here, period, just doing positive things. If I can get a couple of brothers, we stand in front of the schools just to welcome our young men in, let's do it. I work in the school system, so I'm out there front line all the time with the students. I stand in the hallway with the students. I talk, I ask them how their weekend was. So that's that open communication you got to start having with our youth. Because when we don't have these open communications, they won't accept the change. They won't accept things that's going to benefit them in the long run. So we got to start accepting the change. So it's like I said, the 3 C's of life. But we got to commit to these 3 C's. Once we commit to them, then we can commit the youth to them. Once we commit the youth to them, guess what? Boom, they started changing. They're going to go back and change the next person. They're going to go back and commit and change the other people. So without us changing and committing to the youth, we're at a lost cause right now. But we got to start stepping up. We got to start doing our part as men. We got to start doing it as well. I created Mindful Men just to give every men and young men a safe place to be able to open up and express how they feel. You know, I'm going to have some young men come in. We're going to talk. They're going to come on the live. We're going to broadcast it because it's something big that they got to do. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I said I'm about to do a podcast with a couple of my boys I went to college with. They want me to speak on mental health on a podcast. I'm down for that. Anything that I can do to send a message to mental health, because people don't take mental health well. They don't like to talk about it. They don't think mental health is real. No, it's real. It's real amongst our young men and men. We see what the young men are doing out here. We even got grown men doing the same thing. But we see what the young men are doing out here. So we got to start making these choices and these changes and committing to the 3 C's to help our youth get to the next level. So that's my time for today. I appreciate you guys so much for coming in. It's been a true blessing to have you guys come in today. I'll be back next Monday with another topic that we just going to continue to go in. We're just going to continue to talk. We're going to continue to get to our youth. Hoping I can have a guest come in soon. Somebody I know that I knew for years in the military and things of that nature. So we got a lot of big things. Mindful Men has a lot of big things planning. Also, check out my YouTube channel. Support the YouTube channel. Subscribe. Continue to share my page. Continue to share my Mindful Men Mondays with everybody. Make sure they continue to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like I said. And also, bring a friend. If you know a friend, bring a friend through. If you know a male that needs to hear this, share it with them. Bring them in next time while I'm talking so they can see what I'm all about, what I've created, what we're trying to create, where we're trying to go with this, the next level I'm trying to take Mindful Men to. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys so much. Love you guys. Stay safe. Have a great 4th of July. Please be safe tomorrow shooting fireworks. Once again, thank you. See y'all.